In this video, we're going to be adding an external link to my library report. Linking to external resources is the art of the possible within Power BI. Remember that Power BI gives us a wonderful interactive experience, and it allows us to identify records that are of real importance to us, but it only tells us the amount of data that exists within our data model, and it doesn't offer us the ability to change that data. We've already seen that we can create a mail to link, and they are efficient to create and use, they're user friendly, they work very fast. And in the example that we're going to use, it's going to allow us to interact with a record in our model-driven app. It means that we can change the data. During this exercise, we're going to be working in the Power BI report creation stage of model data and also build report. So let's move on to the exercise and build a link to our model-driven app. I'm in my Loans Manager and I'm on the Loans table. I'm going to select on Loan 2981, which is Li Wang, which is Winnie the Pooh. Select on that. And my objective here is to create a dynamic URL to the URL that we can see at the top here. The only thing that's actually going to change each time is the ID. And we know this, we've seen it already, and it's in our data model. I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to copy them, and I'm going to move to the My Library report. I'm going to move to the table view, and I'm going to create a new column which includes the loans column that we see here. I'm going to right click and then select new column, and I'm going to call it URL model driven with an equals just after it. Then I need to add a quote and then paste in the URL that we were looking at before. I'm going to end it with a quote and then select enter. As you can see, this URL doesn't change at all. It's the same for every record, but we can change that very easily. Let's move to the editor, remove this, add a quote just after the equals, put in an ampersand, and then we can add in the loans. It's actually loans. Now that it's added in, I can select enter, move back to the report view, select on the current loans page, select on the table visual, type in URL, and then drag it onto the table. I'm going to bring it just before loans name. There's a problem here. It's just coming through as text. So we have a problem, but we can change that. I need to go to the data category and change it to a web URL. Now that it is a web URL, we can start to see if it works. I'm going to select on the Winnie the Pooh, and as you can see, it's returning an error. Let's return to our Power BI report and see if we can see if we've made a mistake. I'm going to move on to the table view and then have a look at the formula for our URL model driven. And if I look at it, I can see that it ends with ID equals C and then a quote. It's actually adding a C to every single one of my URLs. We can change that. Remove the C, press enter, move back to our report view, select on Winnie the Pooh, and we could change the data from here. I'm going to change the date returned, make it today, and then save and close. Let's move back to our Power BI report, and we can refresh. Power BI will retrieve the data from Dataverse, and our total loans has moved from 9 loans through to 8 loans. And this brings us to the end of the exercise. I hope you found this lesson on adding an external link to My Library Report interesting, and you might consider how you might use it within your organisation. I'll see you in the next video.